Hi guys, and welcome to the channel. My name is Q, and today we're going to be looking at the PlayStation 5 UI that was released today on October 15th. So yeah, a lot of news that came out today, a huge gaming news cycle for today, but let's focus on the PlayStation 5 UI that was just released. A quick video from Sony, about a little bit over 11 minutes, going through the UI, and what I saw, I was pretty impressed. Let's look at this part of the video where it goes into your main home screen. And one thing I like about this UI is that the Games tab is up in front. You have, I mean, when you have your gaming console, the first thing you want to do when you get booted up is to look at your game collection and play games right away. So I'm glad that they're able to kind of separate and give you the media as a secondary tab. So I'm assuming they didn't show it, but if you chose media, a whole new subset of menus would actually show up. So the fact that games is up in front and center is huge, and it's definitely a much more cleaner, more slicker design. Definitely looks very next gen. One of the things I notice is the curved edges around the tiles and some of the borders of the windows. So I definitely like that look. I mean, you can say it's long overdue. The iPhone has had those type of icons for the longest time with the round edges, though you can kind of change them and customize them. But I do like the round edges around the square and box, around the graphics and the menu. So that's really cool there. But yeah, the UI kind of kicked off with them booting in and logging into your user profile. And then it goes into a resume state. So they had the new Sackboy game already running in the background. So this is the one interesting stuff, and I'll just play this while I talk. Is that they decided to, instead of when you hit the PlayStation button to get out of the game, pausing the game and then going into your menu, they're overlaying the menu into the game. So the game is paused and it's in the background, but then you have the options to kind of scroll through like a quick menu of activities, which is pretty cool. I definitely like this. I like that they've overlaid it. The one thing about UI design is the more clicks, the more steps that a user has to go through, the less likely they're going to use it, right? So the fact that you have this spring right up and it's right there still, and you're not going through some more additional steps, I think definitely helps in the user experience. So it's cool. And I'm going to speed up to the next feature here as they go through all these cards to kind of show you where you're at in terms of progress and gameplay. And there was one area where they brought up searching for like YouTube videos to help, right? So I think from a presentation standpoint, yeah, this is going to wow people that they don't have to search YouTube or whatever. But one thing we have to understand is that you have to have PlayStation Plus to access this feature. And on top of that, how practical are you going to be able, you're going to use this feature to kind of help yourself in games, right? I think for myself, I like to kind of try to solve the game by myself without any additional help. But I guess for other novice players, they definitely can utilize this. The only one thing is that this is curated by Sony. So if you have like a favorite YouTuber that you follow that might have gone through some tutorials or hints or steps on how to beat a particular course of a game, you might not be able to get access to that. So it's going to be, just keep in mind, it's going to be curated by Sony. So it's going to be specific videos that they've pick and choose that you'll have access to. And again, you have to have PlayStation Plus for this. It would have been nice if this was a feature across the board where even people that don't have PlayStation Plus can utilize this. But I can see why they're trying to add value to PlayStation Plus. And you know what, PlayStation Plus is really not that expensive. There's a lot of sales that you guys can always get the 1 year prepaid cards for. I normally can find them for right around, the lowest I paid for one, I believe, was like $30. And usually you can get them for right around $40 for the cards for 1 year of PlayStation Plus. So definitely, I advise, if you guys wanted to go down that route, is to look for those cards. Don't buy it through the Sony interface. You can actually get really good deals. I do the same thing with Xbox Live accounts and with my Game Pass Ultimate. So definitely there's other ways and other discounts that you can get into it. But yeah, other than that, the other feature here is that they're showing a friend, on your friends list, somebody that is playing a different game, and then they snap this on. So here's the thing. it kind of is reminiscent back of when they launched the PlayStation 4, and they were talking about this feature. I don't know if you guys remember when the PlayStation 4 was launching, that they touted this feature about, oh, if you're stuck in a game, you can just share your game with a friend, and they can come in and play with you. That never became fruition for the PlayStation 4. For this right here, I don't know how often you would want to see somebody do that. So yeah, this whole snap feature with the with viewing what your friends are playing, I just don't know how practical that's going to be. And then on top of that, also you have to understand network congestion, right? So if you're playing a multiplayer game, and you're already needing as much bandwidth as you have to play that game, and then now you're sitting in another feed from your friends, I think right now in terms of a presentation, that's like a cool factor, but in practicality, I'm just questioning whether or not practical. How many of you guys are going to utilize this? Let me know. Why don't you guys comment down on the video and let me know if some of these features are you going to utilize, or are you just going to be concerned about playing your games, and then when you're playing multiplayer games, just interacting with your friends in the multiplayer session, right? So, again, I think it's a very cool feature to highlight and present. It'll get you some buzzwords out there, or some buzz just around the UI and the feature sets. But in practice, though, how practical are you going to utilize this? For me, I just want to jump in my game right away, play it, and if my friends are playing another game, it's great to know what other games they're playing, and then jumping over to that and playing with them is great, And I think the one of the things about the whole UI interface here, and I'll fast forward to where they actually skipped over to Destruction All Stars, and this was really, we anticipated this, right? We know next gen has fast SSDs, and for them to boot into Destruction All Star, it looked really good. One thing I would have liked to seen is the whole full process. Like, they sped this whole process of starting multiplayer into where your player actually gets into the lobby, and I would have liked to seen that whole thing kind of play out, to see how fast the game loads from beginning when you go into multiplayer to when you go on straight into the lobby and meeting your friends. Because if you look at the fast forward footage and you slow it down, there wasn't a lot to really show, right? And they could have just give it another 30 seconds or whatever for you to kind of traverse through, to kind of give you the true experience of how fast the SSD is. So that was the one area that I was disappointed that they probably could have capitalized on. But other than that, there is no question here. If you guys don't think loading in games faster on the PlayStation 5 or even the Xbox is going to be huge, it is. I've been gaming on an SSD for a couple of years now, and having a fast SSD is going to be critical to the way your games load and how quickly you get into the games. And the fact that these next gen systems, especially the PlayStation 5, the speeds of the SSD, it's going to be great for these next generation games. One of the things that that they didn't show, and they did talk about backwards compat game, is I would have liked them to show how fast like a backwards compatible game would have loaded up. They could have highlighted this UI interface, and they could have maybe highlighted Ghost of Tsushima or Horizon Zero Dawn, or even The Last of Us 2, like a first party Sony title backwards compat, loading it up, showing it on your game library, and then loading it up through the internal SSD, just to show how quickly and the improvements that you get. I think there was probably a missed opportunity there, that they could have utilized it. They touched upon it, but they really didn't show it through. And again, they stated that this user experience video was fairly short and very compact, and that there's going to be more information to come down the road in the future. So hey, we're only a couple of weeks away from this launching, and the more information we get, the better, because for the longest time there's been a drought of information, and the fact that we're starting to get trickled information, and you know what, this is competition. Sony dropped this on the 15th because they knew that the Xbox embargo was lifting today, where there's going to be a ton of Xbox Series X news. So kudos to Sony for aligning and dropping the UI. Sometimes as gamers, we kind of complain about, not having enough information, but you know what? This is a business. These guys know how to strategically place information and content out there, and this is what they did. So that's why today's gaming cycle is huge. You're going to see a lot of stories around the PlayStation UI, around the Xbox, and it's just a crazy, it's a crazy Thursday to get information, right before the weekend. So a lot of things to talk about for the next couple of weeks. But yeah, I just want to kind of give you guys my impression. Overall, I really like the new slick look of this. It looks very next gen, a big huge upgrade over the PlayStation 4 UI, which I thought was all right. I think in the last generation, even though Sony dominated, I actually enjoyed the Xbox UI a little bit more than the Sony UI. But this here, I'm liking this a lot. So let me know what you think, guys. Put your comments below. Are you picking up a PlayStation 5? And are you excited with the fact that it's about a month away? I'm excited for all the games that we're going to be able to play, especially the fact that for the first time in consoles, we're going to be able to hit games in 60 FPS and 120 FPS. And this is going to be huge. I think, PC gamers have experienced this in the past, and it'll be great for console gamers where they don't want to go through fiddling of the PC, building a PC, installing and doing some configurations. Whereas consoles, you just pop it in, you play it, you pick your mode, you're good to go. So yeah, let me know what you think about this video. Like and subscribe if you're new, and you guys have a great day. Talk to you later.